Chapter 3. We walked in the large dirt parking lot and got out of our car. I squinted in the bright, hot sun. Had the sun been this bright in Candace? I didn't think so. I looked around. I'd never seen so much brown before. Not a patch of grass anywhere. Did grass even exist in Arizona? Again, I didn't think so. We walked over the compacted dirt towards the entrance, which wasn't closed up, even though the park wasn't open yet. I guess they weren't too worried about people sneaking in. A lizard skittered across the dirt in front of me, and I jumped back. The dirt never ended. There was no sidewalks or grass or paved anything at Stagecoach Pass. Just dirt and old wooden buildings and wooden old steps. Old wooden old perches and things that looked like they might collapse at any time. "Good morning," a cheerful gray-mustached man greeted us from one of these porches. He wore a cowboy hat and a held mug of something steamy. "Coffee in this heat?" "Good morning," Mom and Dad said at the same time. "Nice to see you again, Gary," said Mom. I looked at her. "He's the one who interviewed us," she whispered. "He's the accountant for the park." Gary'd walked down the steps. "And this must be even." "Our one and only," Dad said, squeezing his arm around me. I gave Gary a polite smile. He seemed nice, though, even though his gray mustache was awfully pointy. "Well," Gary said, tossing his coffee on the dirt, where it dried in about 2 seconds, "I bet you're tired after your long trip. I'll take you up to the apartment." As we trudged towards our new living quarters, which were apparently located right over the steakhouse, Dad asked, "So when do we get to meet Joe Kavanagh?" "Oh, no one ever meets Joe," said Gary. "Not around here much." "That's strange," said Mom. "A business owner who doesn't visit his own business?" Gary smiled and tilted his hat at her. "That's why Joe needs good managers, ma'am." Mom and Dad had described the apartment as cozy but humble little place. They weren't kidding about cozy, or humble, or the little. Gary and a few other men from the park, all dressed like cowboys, carried our stuff from the car. After Mom and I finished putting away my suitcase of bare necessities, she said to me, "Why don't you go out and explore, honey?" "What's there to explore?" "Tons of stuff," she said. "There's a gold mine and a gift shop and a museum and a soda shop. You could get yourself some ice cream." She watched at her watch. "It won't be over for another half an hour, though." So I went out and explored for about 5 minutes. The heat got more and more intense with every second until I was forced into air-conditioned museum. The museum was actually more like a room, just one room with pictured covered walls and a few artifacts in glass cases. These artifacts included a collection of stone arrowheads, some broken Navajo pieces, a pistol from the 1800s, a pair of old spurs, and a genuine dead tarantula with information board that shared facts, like tarantulas have no teeth, so they use their venom to liquefy their prey and suck up the liquid nastiness directly in their stomachs. How awesome is that? I scanned the frame photographs on the walls. The old wooden floorboard creaked under my feet. Most of the pictures were black and white, taken a long time ago before Stagecoach Pass first opened. It looked like it was quite the place back then. Crowds and rodeos and even parades on Main Street. Then I came to an empty space on the wall, where it seemed a picture had been removed. The template beneath the empty place had been left up and said The Kavanaghs, Stagecoach Pass, 2004. I looked around the rest of the photos and each of their nameplates, but I couldn't find any more of the Kavanaghs. I looked about what Gary had said. No one ever meets Joe. I wonder why. "There you are," Dad said from behind me. "I've been looking for you." I turned around. "Just getting some cool air." "Don't worry," Dad wiped his sweat from his forehead. "It will cool down soon, I guess." "Guess what?" "What?" "The rodeo area is closed down, so I thought we could set up a soccer goal out there and practice." "That sounds great. You want to go kick the ball around tomorrow?" "Isn't it too hot?" "Never. Plus, we can keep it cool with ice cream." "What if I get a sunburn?" "They have sunblock in the gift shop." I smiled. "You have the answer for everything, don't you?" Dad put an arm around me and led into his gift shop. "Of course. Didn't you know that dads know everything?" I snorted as he picked out a small tube of sunblock from a rack. "I'd like to be there when you tell Mom that."